All right, what's happening, team? What's going on? Just gonna go through mindset for success in business, life, and fill in the blank. It's always about, it's always healthy to have a good mindset and to also to think of, so mindset, it is, what am I trying to say here? Having the mindset, especially what we've been talking about throughout the day one den and the jump start, is making sure that we have the proper mindset going into the task at hand of getting our body and our lifestyle and our habits aligned so we can make sure that we stay with this new fitness and health lifestyle. Okay, I'm always trying to, improve my life on learning more as much as I can into the psyche of what barriers I might have in myself, and also too with barriers in the sense of, okay, what behaviors do I need to change, like as we've discussed, and what actions do I have to incorporate to make sure that I stay on this path and I don't fall back. But of course, we may fall back in the sense of, taking 2 steps back and then 3 steps forward, right? Just making sure that we are on the continuation of evolving, of ascending, of going to be a better person tomorrow as opposed to who I was last year. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, so 5 unconventional mindset shifts that redefine business success. So you can take out business and put health, fitness, relationships, because in this sense, and the overall picture is the mind, right? The mindset, right? So the foundation of lasting success. The business world is saturated with advice on strategies, market trends, and tactical execution. While these elements are important, they represent the surface level of what drives success. Beneath them lies a more fundamental and powerful force: mindset. The way leaders and professionals perceive challenges, failures, and opportunities is the true determinant of an organization's resilience and capacity for lasting growth. The way leaders and professionals perceive challenges, failures, and opportunities is the true determinant of an organization's resilience and capacity for lasting growth. So 5 impactful mindset shifts. Treat failure as a strategic asset, not just a lesson. The most resilient organizations do more than simply learn from failure. They integrate it as a strategic component of their innovation process. This is a growth mindset in action, viewing setbacks not as an indictment of ability, but as a rich source of data. I'm going to say that again. This is a growth mindset in action, viewing setbacks not as an indictment of ability, but as a rich source of data. Apple, for instance, rigorously analyzed its product failures to understand market needs, which directly informed the development of revolutionary products like the iPod. Similarly, Coca-Cola's infamous New Coke, remember New Coke from back in the day? That blunder became an invaluable lesson in brand loyalty after the company listened to consumer feedback and pivoted. In stark contrast, Blockbuster, blast from the past, Blockbuster's fixed mindset serves as a cautionary tale. Despite having opportunities to pivot, such as acquiring Netflix in its early stages, The company clung to its traditional business model. Its reluctance, Blockbuster, to learn from emerging trends ultimately led to its decline. The critical differentiator is a growth mindset embedded within the organizational culture, which transforms a setback from a crisis into a valuable data point for future innovation. So the 5 impactful mindset shifts. Number 1, treat failure as a strategic asset, not just a lesson. As we progress in life, as we progress in business and our fitness and health mindset, fitness and health lifestyle, we will stumble, we will have to learn through this process. And we have to be easy and take it easy on ourselves. We can be our own harsh critic, right? So for me, looking into the treating failure as an asset. So thinking you are trying to improve, you are trying and doing what you can by taking the actions to change your lifestyle and to address certain behaviors that led down a path of inaction. So with this mindset of having a open mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset, an open mindset knows and believes, or you have a self-awareness that you can overcome these challenges of being inactive, of being overweight, of being angry and dealing with stress in a unconventional, or not unconventional, dealing with stress in an unhealthy manner by neglecting your health, by eating unhealthy, by snapping at your friends, family, and colleagues, of being that angered individual. So those are the aspects that we do not want, or that will not benefit the person you're becoming, or who will not benefit from these actions. So we have to look back and say, okay, well, during this path, what was a failure? What was a lesson? If you look at the world's greatest of all time people in athletics, in business, they've all gone through stages and seasons of failure, right? It is during those times of failure is where you truly sit down and learn who you are deep down in your soul of that moment in time. Who are you going to become during this time of failure and this season of failure, of constantly hitting that roadblock and not be able to come across or get beyond it? Those are the times where it's crucial that you make sure that you continue eating healthy. Because if I did not eat healthy when I was going through a struggle, I know my body's not going to adjust, or my body won't be able to handle the stress as optimally as I can. And of course, dealing with stress, hitting the heavy bag, going for a meditative walk, listening to meditation, audiobooks, YouTube perhaps, or whichever platform you have. But it's during those times of stress, during those times of failure, that's when you really have to double down on locating and figuring out what will get you out of that situation. Right, and the second one here, so viewing gratitude as a business strategy, not just a soft skill. Incorporating gratitude into a corporate culture is a strategic business decision rooted in a growth mindset. It reflects a leader's belief that their team's contributions can grow and should be nurtured. Far from a feel-good initiative, its impact on key business metrics is tangible. A culture of gratitude enhances employee engagement, improves motivation, and increases retention rates. When team members feel their contributions are recognized and valued, it fosters a collaborative environment where individuals are more willing to support one another and work toward collective goals. So having the, being grateful, of course, yes, having that gratitude within the culture of your work environment, but also too, like from that top down position of a leader, making sure that leader has that open mindset and that it is not a culture of genius. And the book, Culture of Genius, is a phenomenal book. I forgot the author, but the key premise was talking about being a culture of genius is, highlighting the person or the environment where it just highlights the people that are contributing, but also like having the, I'm butchering this synopsis here, but basically you want to create an environment where every voice can be heard despite accolades or credentials. If the people are in that room and they've proven themselves to be in this room, to be in the office, to be in the boardroom, to be on the team, to be on the fight team, they're already proven themselves and their abilities and skill set to be there. So therefore, the environment from the leader, from the head coach, from the gym owner, and of course the board of directors, they have to have the values and skill set that will trickle down to the overall populace, the overall population of that culture or of that organization. So you have to have, people need to be heard, they have to have a safe environment where they can express their tips or express their ideas to locate a solution, to find a solution that will benefit not only the team, but also the overall people outside of the inner circle, so to speak. Because when people, or when your team members feel their contributions are recognized and valued, it opens the door to far more possibilities, as opposed to answering or limiting people by saying, oh, that is such a stupid remark, or why should I listen to you because you haven't had this enough experience, or why should I listen to you when you haven't have this college degree or X degree or whatever it may be. So if that leader highlights or disrespects another colleague in front of the team, that will limit the team's possibilities of growth. That will limit the possibilities of seeking solutions faster and in a more safe or in healthier way. So gratitude and making sure that the people that you do follow, into a team environment, that the leader, you look at their values, their characteristics, and making sure that you resonate with that characteristic. So there we go. So number 3. So recognize that your culture is a mirror of your leader's mindset. Number 3 of 5. Recognize that your culture is a mirror of your leader's mindset. A leader's personal mindset is merely a personal attribute. It is the primary architect of the organization's culture. A leader operating from a fixed mindset, the belief that skills are static, will inadvertently cultivate an atmosphere of fear and stagnation. In such an environment, employees become hesitant to take risks or share innovative ideas, fearing the repercussions of potential failure. So just like I was previously saying, talking about that leader's mindset of and the characteristics of them, to making sure that the leader, yes, everyone has to be heard. Making sure that the environment is safe for people to express their concerns and to not think or second guess their input, because they are already a valued member, because they are on the team. Conversely, a leader who embodies a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, inspires a culture of innovation and continuous improvement. The principle of Kaizen, continuous improvement. So just when you have, just like the environment, or just like, a leader who embodies a growth mindset, the belief that the abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. As soon as you have, like, for example, let's say, if you highlight to a person, or if you see a discussion from a person of a mentor to a mentoree, and how they talk to them and highlight the negativity, and they berate them in a negative manner, that person's ability potentially caps at a certain level because of that negative input that they're receiving from the person above or the person that they think highly of. Now, for example, I say if the person, the leader or the mentoree or the mentor, is having that growth mindset, like, look, you have gone through this position, you have gone through these necessary steps, and they gave you this result. Now, I believe, and I know you believe deep down in your heart and soul, that you can rectify this situation or outcome in the future by learning the lessons and mistakes that you've just taken. So recommending you, the mentee, take notes of what could have happened better, and you want to take a look back at, okay, what steps brought you to this position, and what can be improved upon for a future engagement or a future event with similar circumstances. So again, if you look back in regards to the 7-day jumpstart, okay, well, I am in this program, I am in this the 7-day jumpstart with Fight Fit X and the day 110. All right, cool. Let's today's Friday to do that of this recording. It is Friday, so let's look back at this week. Let's look back at, okay, what workouts have I done? How did I feel? Like, how did my sleep feel? What did I take away? Screen time, a half hour, 45 minutes prior to going to bed? Did I drink plenty of water? And my caffeine intake, have I decreased it? Have I but have I lessened the intake of these sugary drinks? Perhaps also too, how am I also showing up in my relationships? How am I showing up in my work relationships? Am I listening to the person that I'm speaking with? All of these little all of these little tasks that we can do goes to the overall picture of being successful in the 7-day jumpstart. Yes, it is fitness. Yes, it is exercise. However, during this time of personal growth, you also want to capture, but you also want to cultivate other aspects in your life. You want to have the well balance of spirituality, religion, health, mindset, work, friendships, relationships. You want to encompass everything that is revolving around your world. So with a growth mindset is looking back at what worked, what didn't. Now for next week, what can I do better? How can I improve? How can I improve by 1%? I've always said improve by 1% each day will compound into multiple higher percentage, and as you progress in those levels. All right, so number 4 here, so build authentic relationships, not a transactional network. Number 4, build authentic relationships, not a transactional network. Conventional networking is often a fixed mindset activity focused on the transactional collection of contracts for short-term finite value. A more powerful growth mindset approach is to build authentic relationships founded on trust, active listening, transparency, and mutual respect. This deeper strategy moves beyond superficial connections to create a resilient support system with compounding long-term value. So building authentic relationships, just like I was previously saying, as you become stronger and healthier and fitter into this position, into the person you're becoming, how are your relationships outside of self? You want to make sure that you are having that respect to yourself and to other people, and making sure that it is building authentic relationships founded on trust and active listening and transparency and mutual respect. So in regards to that leadership mentality, or sorry, in regards to the leadership and how his or her values will trickle down into the community's culture, you want to make sure that you are able to build that relationship and establish a healthy boundary if certain things are crossed, or right off the bat saying that this is a relationship that we must cultivate. This is how I feel. What cultivating a relationship means and entails is X, Y, and Z. Do you agree with this? Or they may say, A, B, and C is, my way of expressing or cultivating a relationship in the workplace or in a friendship or relationship manner. So having those A, B, and C's, X, Y, and Z's, and coming together to create a mutual agreement where we can benefit from. Because if we don't communicate effectively of what is going to be a healthy relationship and identify this relationship, we again may be limited to the potential possibilities of a healthy relationship. So having that growth mindset. And number 5, understanding that physical fitness is a tool for mental transformation. Physical fitness is not an adjunct to a successful career. It is a foundational tool for forging the mental capital required to lead. Consistent physical training is a direct method for building the dedication and hard work that Carol Dweck's growth mindset is built upon. Carol Dweck, the author of Growth Mindset, where these principles are based, or this presentation or notebook here is developed on. As supported by research from the Harvard Business Review, physical fitness directly improves focus, energy, and stress management, critical attributes for high performance. So yes, we are in the day one den to become stronger, to lose weight, to improve posture, to improve longevity of life, to improve upon old school injuries that may have resurfaced from desk setting, from very popular thing is high rocks training. All right, so making sure that we have coming into the den to become fit, but also to improve focus, to improve energy, and to improve stress management by physical activity, by weightlifting, by shadow boxing, by hitting the heavy bag, by having fun, in your pickleball tournaments. Okay. This reframes fitness from a personal hobby into a strategic investment in one's mental capacity. It is a practical method for forging the very resilience needed to learn from the failures discussed earlier, providing a distinct competitive advantage for any professional seeking to navigate the pressures of modern business world. So to finish this off, your next move. Ultimately, these 5 shifts reveal a central theme. Mindset is not a passive characteristic, but an active operating system on which all strategies and tactics run. It is the internal framework that dictates how we respond to the external world. Cultivating a growth mindset is a deliberate process that requires a commitment, but the return on this investment is more resilient, innovative, and sustainable path to success. As you reflect on these principles, consider your own approach to work and leadership. Which of these mindsets are you merely acknowledging? And which are you prepared to strategically integrate into your daily operations starting today? Powerful stuff once you sit with it, and when you are more aware of how do these attributes take place in real life, by listening to people and how they operate and how they communicate, which avenue to take, and by looking at a failure or a lesson, or how do they address their current limitations in a given task. Are they saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Or are you saying this old dog can definitely learn and adapt just like a young pup? But you get what I'm saying, right? So once you take a look and realize what the valuable outcomes can be from having a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. All right, so that's mindset for success, cultivating growth and resilience in business and in life. Oops. All right, yeah, just quickly again, just wanted to go through not go through, but let's see here. We'll put going through the D1 specialist program design here. Let's just say, well, not 35, but we'll say 35. And we'll say weight 145. Let's go for explosive power. So I want to increase my speed or time in my 10 km run. Give me some exercises to address and improve. Let's just go body weight and dumbbells and create my 21-minute block. So this is just an asset to have specifically for my Day One Den crew, my Fight or Fit X clients. So mindset is huge. Carol Dweck is a phenomenal author. Definitely read her book, Growth Mindset or Mindset. All right, Fight or Fit X performance session, explosive power and 10-kilometer speed enhancement. The objective, to develop multi-directional explosive power relevant for both athletic performance and enhanced running economy speed of over 10 km. So we have our 3D movement warm-up, sagittal plane, dynamic leg swings, frontal plane, lateral lunges with reach, world's greatest stretch for the multiplane. And then we have the main performance block, dumbbell goblet jump squat jumps. Of course, you want to go a little bit lighter on this one. Hold one dumbbell vertically. Alternating dumbbell power skips. Light dumbbell in each hand, drive one knee while simultaneously driving the opposite arm forward and pushing off the ground. We have a lateral bound to stick, definitely on that eccentric load or eccentric component to it. Focus is horizontal frontal plane power, single leg stability. And this is a 21-minute block again. We have the cool down and corrective flexibility and recovery. Dynamic hip flexor stretch, hamstring lengthening. We have a calf stretch. We have the figure four. And of course, breath work, cat-cow pose. That's a Day One Den. Just a tool for you guys inside the Day One, inside the Day One Den. You definitely use this. Again, copy and paste this workout if you like it. And yeah, so that's our pro protocol check-in for mindset. Let's see here, stop sharing screen. All right. Definitely take a look. There's also going to be, I'll upload the slide deck and also the video update, or not a video update, but the video presentation as well for that, for mindset on that one. Okay, so yeah, take a look. Think of like, okay, well, over this next little bit, as I communicate with others, try to identify, is this person, not to be in a rude manner, of course, but try to identify, are they speaking in a fixed or a growth mindset in a certain situation? Okay, you guys got the schools. You guys got the skills to make it happen. All right, pro protocol, make it have a great weekend, eat healthy, check in, leave your post on your workouts. All right, stop recording. And we'll end the call. Back to school. Mindset, guys and gals, hope you enjoyed it. see you guys in the day one den, the 3D analysis, right? Definitely have to make sure you know where you are standing in your flexibility or lack thereof. And yeah, we addressed that inside the den. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. See you.